Alrighty, fellow travelers, welcome back to the Adventures of a Traveling Don. My name is Benjamin O, and today it's another hiking video in Acadia National Park. Okay, so today's hike is going to be Sargent Mountain and Penobscot Peak. It's a bit of a long hike, but it is fantastic, and usually people do both of those in concurrence with each other. And the best place to kind of start that off here is at the Sargent Pond house. Now, I know you guys have already seen this place in videos before, but we're not really going to hit much of the pond. You just want to start here because this is where all the trails, like I've said in the past, Sargent Pond is the heart of Acadia, and the trails that lead to Penobscot and Sargent Mountain pretty much start here. Now, there are other ways to get up there, but this is kind of like the best kind of like starting place to start. So, and plus, it's not a bad little starting view, isn't it? Now, real quick, if you're looking for parking, and it's not at the Sargent Pond because that does get busy, there are some offshoot small parking places along the routes as well. One of them is coming from Seal Harbor at the crossroads heading towards Sargent Pond. There's about 6 spots there, 5-6 spots if you're lucky to find one, and then it's just a quick about three-quarters to about a mile, nice little walk along the carriage road trails to get to Sargent Pond, and then continue from there. So it's kind of a nice little warm-up before you hit the trail. So, but anyway, let's get to hiking, shall we? Okay, so your first fork in the road is going to be right here at the Jordan Stream. It's absolutely gorgeous because you have these beautiful wooden bridges, one with the handles, one without. So just be a little careful. But it's a beautiful stream. It's nice to just kind of sit here, honestly, and just relax. I've seen people come out here and just read books, but this is just the first kind of fork. You can, if you take the left, you go down Jordan Stream path, cobblestone bridge, and you kind of go down towards Little Long Pond. You take the right path, that's going to take you up to Penobscot. So let's head on up. Okay, second major fork you have here. You can either go this way, right, to the Jordan Cliffs, which is actually a really nice spot, or continue left and up the mountain to Penobscot, which is about 1.1 miles, and then Sargent is another mile after that. So, all right, let's do this. All right, so you guys must be wondering, after all of that climbing, Ben, did you already make that? No, that's literally the first less than quarter of a mile of the 1.1 mile trail. The thing is, though, that's pretty much the east-west side. We're actually not done. There's a little bit more left, but it's kind of levels out because we're getting close to, you know, the top area, and then you just go up that to get to the peak. But I think I've said this in previous videos. When you're doing Acadia, the east-west trails are more like what you just saw. It's just very vertical, very rocky, very bouldery. The north-south trail, you'll see in a second, a little bit more gradual. But I just wanted to stop here because this is your first real overlook that you get of Sargent Pond, Champlain in the back, and then of course you have the bubbles way back there, and of course the Sargent Pond house. And you can start to see from even here the south side of the island, the Cranberry Isles, and of course the Atlantic Ocean. But yeah, first full pull out, we're almost to the top of where the north-south ridges start. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a little explanation as to why all of that is literally just a quarter mile, but it's so intense because it's east-west. So like I said, north-south, a little bit more gradual. Now it is of course longer. I still got about probably close to 3/4 of a mile to go, but it's a lot easier than the climb we did earlier. But I mean, as you can see from the top, you already have these beautiful, beautiful vistas from this area. It's absolutely gorgeous. And one little tidbit, if you notice how rocky it is up here and how small the trees are, when Champlain, who's a French explorer, first kind of like arrived on this island, he actually hiked up that peak over there, which is Mount Champlain, named after the explorer. And he found that the peaks, particularly on those sides, here Penobscot, Sargent, they were basically barren. So he called them desert, hence Mount Desert Island. Anyway, just a little knowledge for you there. Okay, so the first peak of the day and the fourth peak of the season has been conquered. Penobscot Peak right behind me, and it's got some fantastic freaking 360 views. It's just, I mean, I feel like I say this for almost all the peaks up here, but like, it is beautiful up here. And the higher the peaks that you go, the more broad sweeping these views absolutely become. So, all right, but this is the peak of Penobscot. Now, we got one more peak, and this one's actually a little bit higher, so we got to go to Sargent next. All right, so when you come down from Penobscot and you get down to this kind of fork in the road here, basically you can either go straight, so I came from there. You can either continue going straight through this rock, through these rocks, and then up. That takes you to Sargent Mountain. Or if you're just doing Penobscot, you can basically go this way, take a right, and then that will take you down to the north shore of the Jordan Pond, and then you can just walk back around. So just kind of depends on what you're doing, but obviously we're going Sargent Mountain, so peak 2, let's do this. So one little, I guess it's not a true secret, but because not many people come up to Sargent from Penobscot, and a lot of people will totally miss this. This right here is Sargent Pond. You know, so we didn't dip too far down, and we've gone up a little bit. So this pond is, I think it's the highest body of water on the island of Mount Desert Island in Acadia National Park. Because I think we're probably, because we were at 1194 earlier, we dropped down probably about 300 feet, and we've gone up about 100. So we're probably somewhere around like 800 to 900 feet elevation, and you have this beautiful little pond here. So yeah, it's just kind of a nice little secret. I wouldn't go in there though. I don't think you're allowed to, but I believe, I may be wrong, but a lot of these ponds here, you have to be careful with going in there because they do have leeches. So unless you want to be leeched, you know, if you got some bad blood in you, you guys try to get it out, something like that, maybe, you know, go right ahead. But yeah, I think there are leeches in there. But it is a beautiful pond right up here on the mountain. All right, and that is the second peak, Sargent Mountain, conquered here at 1,373 feet elevation. It is the second highest peak, only to Cadillac behind me. Penobscot, I think, is either third or fourth. I'm not sure if Champlain is 1,200 or if it's under the 1194 that Penobscot is. I haven't been up there in a while. But anyway, this is definitely the second highest peak on the island. Gives you great views of the north side of the island. Unfortunately, because of the plateau up here, you really can't see too much of the south, but it's great north side views. And like I said, it's kind of a great kind of trek going from Penobscot to here. It's actually not as hard if you do Penobscot first, because you don't dip too far down, and it's not too much of a climb to get back up. If you come from the north side, coming up Sargent, it's definitely a lot steeper and a lot longer on that particular hike. It's a little bit tougher, but we've conquered it. 2 peaks, 1 day, 2 of the highest peaks on Mount Desert Island. Accomplishment is what I call it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the views. So quick recommendation. If you want to head down the path toward the quickest way back down to Sargent Pond North Shore, do it when the day before was not rainy. I'm telling you right now, the trail you guys have been seeing me go down, holy crap, it's so wet, even with my really good boots. Like, I'm holding on to trees, taking slightly different routes to get around the mossiest, wettest part of the rocks. I'm like, I think I have sweated more on this, not even quarter of a mile, maybe quarter of a mile that I've done going down than I did probably most of the hike up both peaks. Woo, it's a bit of a thrill, but it is a great hike down. Just maybe don't do it like I'm doing after it rains. It's a little scary. Okay, so at this point here, you're back on the carriage road. Now, if you want, you can take the Deerbrook Trail all the way down to Jordan Pond, and then circle either the west route, which is bouldery, and then it's kind of like a forest trail on these planks, or you can go around the north edge and then take kind of like basically the gravel path trail, which is a really nice trail along the east side. However, I'm already exhausted, so we're going to take the carriage trail directly back. Plus, I've already done a Jordan Pond video, so I'll leave a link in the description for you to check that out. Anyway, let's get back before my legs give out. You know what? I'm kind of glad I actually took this carriage trail. Not only just because it's a little bit easier going back, but I don't think I've ever actually taken this part of the carriage trail. And I've never seen Jordan Pond from this angle before. It's actually kind of cool. I like a little bit more of the higher ground, and you kind of like look over the pond a little bit more than when you're down over there, because like down there it's all very like bouldery path. But yeah, kind of cool. All right, guys, so we are back at Jordan Pond. I'm sitting here just enjoying this beautiful view as the sun is starting to go down. You get this kind of like one side is shadow, one side is light. It's absolutely fantastic. But it's a great place to just kind of sit and relax after a hike like we just did. I mean, thank you for joining me on that, but boy, oh boy, I felt all the pain for your visual pleasure. But it was absolutely fantastic. I haven't done that particular two-peak hike in quite a while. It's probably been since the COVID year, really. So it's been a couple of years. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I unfortunately won't have any food at the end of this or throughout this video. I do apologize. I didn't have anything planned out that I don't already have planned for food tour videos going forward. So look forward to that. But also it's just because this hike takes so long and it takes so much out of you. I'm just beat. I really just want to go home and take a bath and just open up some wine and just relax, make myself some food and whatnot. But I hope you guys did enjoy the hike. If you guys are ever in Acadia, highly recommend Penobscot and Sargent Mountain is kind of like a duo. It is a little ambitious for a first time. I would warm up with something else, but as kind of like a second or third hike of a trip, it's actually not too bad. Like I said, you get great views from both places, and it is definitely the second highest peak being Sargent Mountain, and Penobscot being, I think, either third or fourth, depending on how big Champlain is. I can't remember exactly the elevation of Champlain. So, but guys, thank you for joining me on this particular journey. I will see you guys next week on the next adventure up here in Acadia for the adventures of a traveling Don. Guys, peace out and have a great night.